A wise man once said, "A balanced diet means having a chocolate bar in each hand." Seriously now, who doesn't love chocolate? With the global consumption of chocolates on the rise, so is the demand for cacao beans. Fortunately, the Philippines is among the countries that can cultivate this valuable crop. At present, about 90% of cacao production in the country comes from the Davao region. But cacao farming is also gaining ground in Luzon. One of the pioneers in cacao farming in Luzon is Chocoland Farm, which started in Occidental Mindoro and now has branched out to Silang, Cavite.
And we're here at Chocoland Farms with a pioneer cacao farmer, Mr. Raymond Chavez. Raymond, so tell me, how long have you been into cacao farming?
About going to 4 years now.
4 years.
4 years.
And what were you doing before then?
I'm an employee of our own Sustamina Agri-Industrial Corporation. I'm also a COO dun sa isang company rin namin, sister company. And then I decided to resign for a while so I can
Focus
focus on this.
So how did you get into cacao farming?
Way back 2014, when I was in the company, I was assigned as buyer to the farmers. We have a feed mill, so I'm buying corn from the farmers in Mindoro. And then, when I saw the place, yung mga farmer doon parang they are only, parang ang crop nila doon is only corn and rice, which is seasonal crop, around 4 months lang. 4 months, and then after 4 months, saka pala sila magkakapera. So I was thinking about a crop which could change yung, how people, paano sila magkakaroon ng magandang income. And then when we went to the States, I saw yung mga farmers na sila yung mayayaman sa States eh. Pero pag sinabi mo mga Filipino farmers, sila yung mahihirap eh. So kaya naisip ko itong cacao. When I was in the States, nagpa-purchase kami ng raw mats sa state ng yung US soybean. So nakikita ko yung doon sa statistic, yung price ng cacao, lagi siyang mataas yung price. So for the past 2 years, ba't hindi nababa yung price ng cacao? There's something about cacao. And then one of my friends asked me to join a seminar in Manila. Said, join ka sa seminar namin sa Manila. So nag-decide ako, sige, I'm interested. Nung nalaman ko yung potential ng cacao, sabi ko, this is it. Ito yung big change sa Philippines.
To turn this vision into reality, Chavez invested heavily in equipment, technology, and proper training to start an industry of sustainable cacao farming.
And how much capital did it take you to start a cacao farm?
Way back 2014, around 5 million.
5 million.
Yeah, to establish a nursery, to establish the cacao training center, and investing on the people.
How many employees do you have?
We have around 20 right now.
And would you know how many trees you have across your farms?
Now, planted cacao, we have around 300,000.
300,000.
300,000.
And how much land would you need for 300,000 cacao plants?
Around 300 hectares.
Have you ROI'd, or if not, how long does it take roughly to ROI with cacao?
Sa cacao, medyo matagal ang ROI. It will take around 2 to 3 years. You still have to establish your farm. Pero pag naka-establish ng mga 5 to 7 years, doon mo na mapipil na yung ROI mo bumabalik na.
The first cacao trees to travel outside the Western Hemisphere were brought to the Philippines by the Spaniards during the 1600s. Since then, cacao has spread across Asia and to the rest of the world. Cacao is a crop that thrives well in regions around the equator, and the climatic conditions and soil characteristics of the Philippines are conducive to growing cacao.
This is around 4 months. 4 months old.
4 months old.
Yes.
And it's ready to be planted.
Mhm.
Okay, so gaano kalalim dapat yung cacao?
It should be 30 centimeter deep.
30
Tapos 30 centimeter din yung wide niya. Dapat consider mo rin yung sun. Like here, meron tayong dalawang shade trees, yung banana trees. So yung sun coming from the east here. So kailangan i-align mo din yung seedlings mo dito para pag sikat ng araw, hindi siya tatama ng araw.
Okay.
You need tender loving care. Kasi galing siya sa nursery. So sa nursery kasi nasa 80% ng shade. So pag nasa full sun talaga, medyo masusunog tong dahon pag i-expose mo siya sa sun. Makaka-apekto lang sa production. Medyo mababa yung
sa
yield.
I know you also like planting organically.
Yes.
So you also use efficient microorganisms.
Yes. So we have to put mga 2 kilos, no?
2 kilos of this.
Organic. Put it under. Okay. Now we're going to put the seedlings on top. Then
And then cover it up.
cover it with soil. Then after this, we water it. Kailangan lang siyang i-water frequently during the summertime. Inside. Okay.
You can see inside there's like a wheel na umiikot. Well, you can see this turning. Smells good.
So our next step is peeling off the skin.
Cacao is one of the many crops that can be harvested all year round. But its yield is affected by soil conditions, shade management, topography, pruning, and intercropping.
So from yung mga baby na nakita natin na plants,
Mhm.
gaano katagal bago maging ganito kalaki?
This one, it will take around 2 years.
2 years.
This was 2 years old na to. And as you can see, may mga bunga na siya and it's fully matured trees.
And then how long do they live for before mo siya kailangan i-replant?
Basically, sabi nila, around 30 years productive time ng cacao. Pero as we experience, meron kaming mga old trees na around 70 years old, 80 years old, na namumunga pa rin. And there are some trees na around 100 years old na rin.
Okay, but ganun karami pa rin yung bunga.
Yes, of course. Kasi it depends on the soil condition.
Okay.
Kung yung soil mo, maganda yung pH level, maganda yung nutrients, nagbibigay siya ng magandang bunga.
How many pods are produced by a tree, roughly, per harvest? And how many times kayo nag-harvest in a year?
Pag fully grown cacao, around 5 to 7 years. Cacao can produce around 3,000 flowers a year. So 15% lang yung nagiging bunga. So around 450 pods. Yun yung fully grown cacao. Sa kilos niya, sa dried, mga around 12 kilos.
12 kilos.
Mhm.
It's now almost the end of June, so it's super not the season for cacao,
This is
right?
not the
So this is
season.
very little compared to what we normally see.
Yes.
But how do you know when it's ripe?
So pag 70% na yung niya, yung yellowish niya, pwede siya yung harvestan.
So, pumitas tayo ng
Mhm.
hinog na. 70% hinog na
Yes.
na cacao. So obviously, you can tell the size, the color is very different.
Very different, yeah.
And then, how come this is more yellow, that's more red?
This one came from other tree.
Okay.
Ito yung red color
Uh-huh.
na cacao and it will turn to orange.
Mm-mm.
This one naman came from green.
Green. Okay.
There are 3 varieties of cacao: Criollo, Forastero, and Trinitario. Criollo is the finest and rarest variety, but it can be found here in the country. Across the globe, the most commonly grown is Forastero. It accounts for 80% of the world's cacao supply. Trinitario, meanwhile, is a hybrid between Criollo and Forastero and is the bean of choice for chocolatiers. We always hear bean to bar, but Raymond here is gonna break it down for us, starting with slicing open the cacao pod.
Yeah, this is the first part, the pod breaking. Okay,
Okay. So
After the
basically,
pod-
just slice it in half.
slice it in half, and then after that, we're going to take out all the seeds.
Okay, so we've gathered wet seeds.
These ones that look like santol. And lilipatin natin siya sa fermentation box. Fermentation is the trickiest part, would you say? Yes?
It is.
It is?
Pero the best thing talaga to use in fermentation is use wooden box.
Okay.
It should be, yan, may holes sa ilalim.
Okay.
Para
so
lahat,
may space in between
may
the
mga
mga
space.
slats. Uh-huh.
Yes, para yung juice mag-drip.
Okay.
And then we're going to use banana leaf.
How do you gauge kung ready na siya?
Ideal is 5 to 6 days. Pero to attain the perfect fermentation, 6 days. That's based on our experience. Takpan lang to, and then cover it with banana leaf again,
Okay.
like that. So after 2 days, makikita nyo magkakaroon to ng heat build up, and then you have to turn everything.
Okay,
Hahaluin
so flip.
mo. Flip. And then cover it again for another 4 days.
So this is the mini sun dryer. So after fermentation, dito siya pupunta. How long siya nandito?
Kapag magandang araw, mga 6 days. Pero pag medyo maulan, it will take around 7 days. We have to attain at least mga 7% MC, moisture content.
7% moisture content.
7%.
So after drying in the sun for 6 to 7 days, what happens?
We'll take this out and then put it inside a jute sack.
May purpose ba yung jutsa?
May purpose din para yung moisture, hindi siya mag-capture ng moisture sa ano.
Inside, while in transit rin.
Yes.
Okay, but in terms of bean to bar, what happens next?
Roasting.
Roasting.
Roasting
Okay.
time.
Is this a small capacity roaster?
Yes, this is only a small capacity, around 5 kilos per batch.
Okay.
But we're looking forward to upgrade this into big capacity, around 50 kilo per hour.
Okay, so see how it works.
Beans inside. Okay.
You can see inside there's like a wheel na umiikot. Well, you can see this turning.
That's a propane, and then there's a burner underneath. It will heat the drum.
Uh-huh.
So it will take around 45 minutes to roast.
45 minutes.
Yep.
45 minutes later, ready na ba?
Ready na.
Okay. Smells good.
So our next step is peeling off the skin. This is the last part, yung molding.
Molding.
Oo. It will take the shape of the chocolate into round and into bar. That's it. Very simple.
Alright, so atong step na to is peeling. We're now doing this indoors with aircon. How do you peel cacao?
Actually, now we do it manually, hand peeled, or sometimes we do it the roller mill. Yung roller,
So parang siyang giant rolling pin.
giant roller pin, and then we do a traditional way using the yung
Bilao.
bilao.
Okay, but is there a more efficient way to do it?
Yes. We're planning to buy the winnowing machine.
Okay, so when you buy that machine, obviously it'll speed up your process
Yes.
by a lot, like 5 times faster.
Maybe 10 times faster.
10 times faster.
Yes.
Okay, so after that's done, this is what it looks like.
This is a hand peel, and this one from a roller pin.
And so ito yung nagiging cacao nibs. And then ito, what do you do with this?
We're going to mill this into chocolate.
So this is gonna turn into chocolate.
Tablea.
beans are ground up until the cocoa butter is released, resulting in a thick, tar-like mass, which will then be molded to become tablea.
This is the last part, yung molding.
Molding.
It will take the shape of the chocolate into round and into bar.
And that's it?
That's it, very simple. Actually, you can purchase our product here in our office. Or simply message us in our Facebook page.
And you can deliver naman.
We can deliver it.
Nothing captures the Filipinos' love for chocolates better than the tablea. For centuries, making hot chocolate drinks from tablea or pure cacao tablets has been an integral part of Philippine culture that is passed on from one generation to another.
Okay, so Raymond made us hot chocolate from his Trinitario beans and it's really, really good. It's not bitter. Nilagyan natin ng milk and sugar. What makes your tablea better than others?
Our tablea came from well-fermented beans. And yung variety niya is very good, the Trinitario. The aroma and the taste, perfect. And then siguro kaya nasabi ko rin na maganda yung tablea namin because of the fineness. Yung fine ng chocolate.
Okay. Meaning wala siyang buo-buo.
Wala siyang bubo.
So far ngayon, ito pa lang yung ginagawa mong byproduct. You sell it domestically? Do you export it? Or you have any
Sa
plans
export ngayon, wala pa kami sa export. Pero we have samples we sent in China, in Singapore, and some part of Middle East. Yung feedback sa amin, they said it's good, very nice. Pero hindi pa nila kaya yung volume since we're telling them to import like 5 to 10 tons. Kasi yung freight, pag sa airfare, mahal. So sabi nila, they will form a group para ma-export nila to.
How much would this sell for?
This one, 100 gram, SRP is around 75 peso.
And gaano karaming litro magagawa nito?
1 liter of
1
chocolate.
liter. So, you also have future plans. You told me you're opening a restaurant where you're gonna have chocolate-inspired dishes. And no, it's not just dessert. Kahit sa mga main course. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my plan is to create a product na hindi lang for confectionery and chocolate, not for baking. You can also use in different savory food. Like we have chocolate vinaigrette. We have chili chocolate vinegar. We also have chocolate bagoong. The chocolate elixir, like it's comparable sa Nutella.
Oh, spread.
Spread is a spread.
And you're gonna have this all within the next month.
In the
Diba? It's
next
gonna be
month.
available. Any other plans that you have to expand your business in the near future?
Yeah, we're planning next year. We already ordered the machine abroad. We're planning to make chocolatier.
Okay.
Basically, it's
You're gonna make chocolate
bars, sweets, from bean to bar.
Do you also teach other interested or potential cacao farmers kung paano? Kasi like we said, maselan siya na hindi eh.
Meron kaming mga trainings na kinakonduct every month. It's a 2-day intensive cacao training. The first day, more on lecture, and the next day is yung final training would be actual training.
Marami bang nag-a-attend or nag-sign up for these seminars? I just wanna know kung gaano ka-interesado ba ang mga Pinoy sa cacao farming?
Marami na actually. Meron na kaming 15 batches na nag-graduate na.
With the global demand for cacao beans increasing every year, the Philippines is one of 40 cacao-producing countries on a race to meet this demand.
Can Pinoys be a strong global player in the cacao market?
Sure thing. Kasi ngayon dito sa Asia, the next global player sa cacao production is Indonesia. And Malaysia. Now Vietnam, they're on a race to produce around 100,000 metric tons of cacao. Yun yung goal ng Philippines ngayon, to produce 100,000 metric tons by 2020. Kasi there's a global shortage around 1 million metric tons by 2020.
Of cacao?
Of cacao.
Can you feel that?
We can
gap?
feel that. We can feel that gap.
Okay, well also, it's quite known, I think, around the Philippines na, kumbaga Davao is really known as the cacao center of the country. So, do you think Luzon can be competitive on that level?
We're working on that. Yes. Of course, of course.
All right.
Yes.
I can't wait to see the day that that will happen. Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you very much.
A vision of community empowerment, a passion for excellence, and good agricultural practices. That's a recipe for sustainable and globally competitive business. It's also the most important ingredient for an amazing chocolate bar. I'm Sean Yao. Start small, think big, and go local with us.